I really hate doing videos where I have to complain about stuff. I like to play fun decks, play goofy decks, and watch silliness unfold. That's all I want to do. That's it, right? And Marvel Snap is so good at that. But unfortunately, they keep doing things that are driving me crazy and driving players crazy. So I have to make videos like this one because today the latest round of like series drops were announced. A handful of cards dropping from series 5 to series 4, and then 3 cards dropping from series 4 to series 3. These are the 12 cards being dropped. The ones going from 4 to 3 are, I guess, Kitty Pryde, Jean Grey, and Snowguard. The rest are going from 5 to 4. And hey, a series drop, that's good news because the last one was like forever ago. But that is the problem right therein is the issue, is that this is the first series drop in forever, and it's still only this many cards. Okay, listen, I'm gonna go on a really big rant here for the next like 10 or 15 minutes or something. It's surprisingly ranty for me too. I'm actually really frustrated. But I'll run some gameplay of us playing this deck while I'm ranting, so you'll have something to look at least while I complain for the next little bit. And then I'm going to actually do some real games after that as well, where I kind of hone in and actually talk through playing this series drop deck, which is obviously not a real deck, but, you know, I might still be able to do some things, win some games here and there. Needless to say, a lot of people are unsatisfied with the series drop, and I absolutely understand why. It's not enough cards. The cards aren't meaningful enough. There are some cards that are just hilariously old at this point that never got series dropped. Stuff like Jeff, I think, is still a series 5 card. Jeff has been out forever. Yeah, still a series 5 card, right? It's just insane. And keep in mind that going from series 5 to series 4, it's not like the card is suddenly free. They're still difficult to get. They're still hard to get. So it's not even really that meaningful of a change to go from 5 to 4. I think 4 to 3 is more significant. It's nicer, but man, this makes me so frustrated, right? Because it's been months and months since the series drop, and then this comes along and it's really disappointing. Now, we haven't seen like the official announcement for this yet. You know, it was in the game and stuff. It's real, but you know, there's probably gonna be a post. My guess is that when that post comes out, Second Dinner is gonna say, hey, you know, like, we're doing another series drop, but keep in mind, we're going to have future improvements to card acquisition, which they've said 1,000 times. Every time the player base gets mad and complains about card acquisition, they say, hey, wait a minute, guys, we got something cooking. We're gonna make card acquisition better at some point. We can't tell you how or when, but it's gonna happen someday. And it never happens. And I suspect that's gonna be the messaging again here. And it's just too little. It's too late at this point. That promise is meaningless. It is absolutely useless because it never materializes. Something about this system is just fundamentally broken, right? It just doesn't work for players, particularly new and returning players. I suspect there's a batch of you out there who are kind of like me, where, you know, you buy the season pass, and I buy the gold thing, you know, where you get like the gold every day or whatever. That's all I spend anymore. And I do keep up with the game, right? Like for me, it's like, okay, whatever, I keep up with the game. I spend $15 a month or something. I used to spend a lot more to kind of front load some resources, sure, but for the most part, I kind of keep up with the game. And I bet a lot of you are the same way. It's like, yeah, it's whatever, man, it's fine. I'm keeping up with the game, right? And that's why you're here, and that's why you're watching Marvel Snap videos, and you're relatively happy, just like me. I'm actually, you know, I don't have a lot of stress around getting cards right now, but I have to implore you to realize that even if you're happy, there are so many players who come into the game as new players and simply cannot get cards. Even spending exorbitant amounts of money doesn't really even get you all the cards that you want or need. And then any returning players who like used to play and used to be in a happy spot and like had life appear and, you know, disrupt their timeline, or checked out a new game for a week or two or something, you know, a month or two, whatever, they come back and they just feel so colossally and hopelessly behind, and there's no way to catch up in a reasonable fashion. again, without spending exorbitant amounts of money, because cards cost like $50, $100 for these like card bundles in the shop, and it's just not a reasonable path to getting cards. It's just too much. It's too inapproachable. It's kind of absurd at this point how fundamentally broken this system is, right? And I've heard a lot of people in the past say, like, you know, it's just how it has to be. They have to make money, right? Well, okay, that's option number one. Option number two is like they just want to make as much money as possible, so they're greedy, right? Like they'll only do it as long as players support it, right? It's greed, Regis, that's fueling it. Well, okay, that's option number two. Neither of those are satisfying, right? Just milking the player base for every last penny to maximize greed, that's obviously not satisfying. But if it's out of necessity, like if the game is running on such a tight budget and it's so close to failure that you can't toss in an extra 5 Series 4 cards, that's a fundamentally broken problem too. That's not a good thing to hear either. Like, they can't just give out an extra 5 or 10 cards to Series 4, because you gotta remember, it's not like they're free suddenly. They're still resource depleting. They're still, you know, demand financial commitments in one way or another from players to get these, or again, resources, keys, tokens, etc. So it's just like there's no satisfying answer or excuse at this point. There's just something about either the company that is fundamentally broken, like there's just too much overhead, too much bloat, too much licensing costs, too much whatever, right? It's just, so if you need this level of monetization to support the company, there's something fundamentally broken on that end. Or if it's just greed, obviously that's just a fundamentally broken system for players. Like it's just not tenable. It doesn't make any sense at all. And, you know, again, I kind of talked about this the last time I did a little rant video, right? It's all happening in the context of Pokemon Pocket. The biggest competitor Snap has had yet just came out, and it's just misstep after misstep after just colossal misstep. And I honestly think they're finally feeling the heat. I was looking at the Steam charts here. You know, the Steam portion of the Marvel Snap player base is incredibly small by all estimations. Most people play Marvel Snap on their phone, right? It's just not that popular on PC. It makes sense, right? It's kind of a phone first game. Just most people play on their phone, myself included. I spend way more time playing on phone, even though I record videos on PC. I do all my like climbing and stuff on phone, just laying in bed or whatever. But we might understand that it's still a representative sample, right? In other words, like when we see a chart that has been honestly pretty stable for a long time, like over a year, this chart has been relatively stable. This was a promotion around the actual like official launch of the PC, which saw a PC version, which saw a nice spike, and it's honestly been pretty stable. That's a really level graph. There's been, you know, there's like weekly ups and downs, of course, with card releases and stuff, but for the most part, pretty level until October 30th or so, when Pokemon Pocket came out. That's, you know, may not be the exact reasoning, but it's certainly a good explanation for why we saw this sudden dip to the lowest Steam levels we've seen for Marvel Snap since before the official release of the Steam client. Before this, it was, you know, it was like the beta of the Steam version or whatever, right? So does this mean there's only 5,000 people playing Marvel Snap? No, of course not. Again, I would expect the mobile version of the game to be 50x more popular than the Steam version. Who knows? That's a made-up number, but many times more popular, right? Obviously, 5,000 players is just not much in the scheme of something like this. You guys know I have 80,000 people watch my videos or something, right? Like clearly there's more than 5,000 people playing Marvel Snap, and I would estimate many times more, right? But if we're seeing a decline on the PC version of the game when Pokemon Pocket is not even on PC, how can we extrapolate this sort of decline, right? If we've seen a 50% decline in 1 week in the player base on PC, are we seeing similar sorts of things on mobile? Is it actually even more extreme than that, because that is the platform where the seeming competitor that has reduced the player base counts, and again, we don't know how much of that's actually attributable to Pocket, but man, the chart sure lines up for that. How much of that is even worse on mobile as a platform, right? How much bleeding is Marvel Snap actually experiencing here in light of all this, right? And it's like, if there was any time to go above and beyond and err on the side of generosity and you know, having some player friendly decision making and really going above and beyond for players, now was the time, right? This was the moment you have to put your kind of stake in the ground and say, look, we're gonna compete here. We're actually going to put you guys first and foremost here, even if it hurts our bottom line a little bit. This was the moment, because now it may be too late. It may just be too little too late. I don't know what they could come out with later down the road and say, this is the new thing and it's gonna be amazing. What could it be at this stage? If this is the sign of things to come, if this is the direction, if this is the kind of thought, it's just so blatantly out of touch with player expectations. The delta there between what Marvel Snap is thinking and what players are thinking, it's just too much. There's no way they're going to close a gap in a satisfying way or create something that players find satisfying. So what I think that means is, it feels like to me Marvel Snap is left in this position where there's probably going to stay a player base that is like me and probably like many of you, that is relatively fine spending $15-20 a month or whatever and staying relatively caught up and enjoying the brilliant Marvel Snap gameplay that is, I still think, very brilliant Marvel Snap gameplay, and they'll probably be fine, right? And that's fine for a little while, but without new players or returning players to keep the momentum up and to keep the game, you know, fueled and to you know, handle any kind of natural attrition that occurs, even for a happy, satisfied player base, it's just not a recipe for long-term success. It will just be a gentle decline because you don't have any new players getting added into the system, and then eventually it's going to reach a tipping point. And based on the decision making we see, how close to that tipping point is it already? They can't toss out a few extra Series 4 cards at this, perhaps one of the most pivotal moments in the entire existence of the game so far. They can't go above and beyond. That they running that tight of a ship, the budget can't afford a few extra Series 4 cards. Like, my God, it blows my mind. It's actually insane. I never get angry or frustrated at anything, but this has really tipped me off today. I just don't understand. It just makes no sense to me. It just feels so completely out of touch with what people are expecting or wanting or frankly needing out of the game. Like, there's always this sentiment that like players are whiny and like, oh, people will just whine to get what they want, and they'll whine to get what they want. And sure, that happens in games, obviously, but it's not made up. It's not arbitrary or greedy of the player base. They just move on to a different game or a different experience or leave because it's not satisfying. I don't think the demands are unreasonable. In other words, that you expect to get more than one card every month or something, or that when you watch a YouTube video, you don't look at the list and go, oh God, I only have 4 of these cards, which is half the comments I get on YouTube these days is like, yeah, I'd love to play this deck, but I'm missing 5 cards. Well, I'm missing 7 of these cards. I've been playing for 2 years. I don't have 7 cards. Great. You know, I don't think that's unreasonable. I think if Second Dinner, if Marvel Snap can't get that closer to player expectations, people are very reasonably complaining and very reasonably going to abandon the game. And if Marvel Snap if it's not in the budget, or if the system doesn't make sense, that's something just fundamentally broken with the company. There's just too much overhead. There's too many people. The system just doesn't make sense. It's just not monetized in a fashion that's functional. It's just something here has to give. And right now it's the players that are giving, not Marvel Snap, which is not going to last forever, particularly if we see charts like that. You know, just something has to be done or it's just not going to work. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. That's a rant, dude. I'm so frustrated because here's the deal, right? Like, this is my career too, right? Like, I love Marvel Snap's gameplay. I want this game to succeed so bad. I would just love anything if I didn't have to make these videos, if I could just play the game, have fun. But instead, you know, I'm hedging. I'm constantly thinking about alternatives because I can't put my faith in this game long term. I want to. I hope to God it works out long term, but you know, I'm making Pokemon Pocket videos. I still have a Hearthstone channel running because, you know, I have to protect my own interests because I don't think Marvel Snap is looking out for my interests or the player interests or really even their own interests, except perhaps in an extremely short-term fashion. I just don't see how this is going to pan out favorably in any sort of time span longer than a few months, and maybe even it's too far gone. So to me, this just shows a lack of foresight. This shows a lack of, because, you know, again, you have to make a statement right now. If you're losing players, if you're losing market share, if you're losing eyeballs to Pokemon Pocket, you just have to make a statement. You just have to be player focused for once. So it shows a lack of foresight, a lack of consideration for players. I'm trying to think of a list of things. It's just it just sucks, dude. I don't know. I'm so frustrated. So yeah, I don't know. I hate these rants. Anyway, I didn't want to make just a rant video, so I think I've probably already been overlaying some gameplay behind this, but we'll jump into a few real games here, and I'll talk through some games playing here. The series drop deck. Okay, Snowguard, sure. Pixie early, I mean, it's not like crazy pop-offs, but, you know, might be nice. Ant-Man, not a Thanos deck, though, just Ant-Man, so maybe Zoo. We just don't see much Zoo, but it's pretty good. It's underrated, I think. Generally underrated. Is this even worth playing? Maybe we just stick to the curve here. I don't know, man. Pixie's not that high rolly. Let's, oh, that's useless. Give me an Iron Man here, please. Jean Grey. Sure. Why not? We can go Beta Ray Bill and then use like a kitty to kind of work around that. X-Mansion. Super Scroll Onslaught. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Dude, like... Bro, Leech, you're just killing me, dude. Like, I'm just dying. I'm actually just dead. I'm actually just dead, man. I'm dying right now. Oh, this is pretty actually spicy, though. Hold up. Okay, dude, this is spicy. Now all we need to do is win mid. All right, dude. Yeah, no, this is spicy. You need top deck Sasquatch too, dude. This is actually really good. Do they have any more ongoing cards they're gonna play? We're very good, right? Minus a Shang-Chi Shadow King scenario. So that's good news. Anti-Venom. Ugh. What is this? Could be Shadow King, unfortunately. Iron Lad's nothing good. I mean, he's effectively the biggest guy I have. I don't think there's any reason to Onslaught. Technically, X23 is like a little more valuable, maybe. I don't know, man. Just hope that's not a Shadow King, right? The fact that they're chilling makes me think it might be. Dude, if this was an Onslaught, dude. Oh. It would be only Ant-Man, but it'd still be so nice. If I lose because it's not Onslaught, I'm gonna be heartbroken. That's watch Ronin. I do have a tiny hand, and they buffed my Super Scroll, so that's good. I was looking at Luke Cage. That's good. Just Master Mold. Is that enough? No. Yes. Let's go. The Super Scroll clutching it. Oh my god. Imagine the Onslaught now, though, too, dude. It would have been even better. It would have been buffed. The Luke Cage. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, cool. Good game, man. Good game. Actually fun. What do you know? Okay, yeah. Snow Guard's pretty nice. Jean Grey. We don't really have any ways to really screw with people with Jean Grey, I guess, unfortunately. Space Stone. That's pretty easy for them to play around Jean Grey too with Thanos cards, so that's another problem. They're like, Snow Guard, what is this? I haven't seen this card in 6 years. Lucky you, you owned Snow Guard before it got series dropped? Wow. Ugh, terrible. Just a 4/6. King E3, dang. Maybe with Kitty Pryde we can make better Jean Grey plays and win Baxter Building and then roll those stats off, right? That might be nice. The chance that works. Hope. Well, they're not going to be too mad about that. God dang it. Shoot. Yeah, Bear's fine. I don't really have to. Oh my god, they're already full. Okay. Well, this shouldn't be hard to win. I mean, I guess, you know, Blue Marvel's scary. Can't really beat a Blue Marvel. I mean, I guess we can get big enough mid to beat Blue Marvel. Kazar and Blue Marvel might be tough, though. Let's do Beta Ray Bill. Still, I think that's fine. Next turn we can Kitty mid and then play Iron Lad X23 left. Still not looking good. I don't know. Maybe right's pretty weak. I mean, they only have 2 spaces left. Marvel Boy and Mockingbird. Okay, so left is where we want to win. If they play a Blue Marvel left, we need to be able to beat that. I really need to draw this hammer right now, dude. Hammer me! Hammer! Pixie is just so dead, but I can get a hammer though. Actually, we're gonna trust that I hit the hammer. We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna believe in the hammer. We trust the hammer. It's just Thanos. Oh, I thought it was gonna be Blue Marvel. Well, that might be enough then. Hold up. Hold up. Let's go! Oh wait, Ant-Man, did that change anything? Oh no, I forgot about the Marvel Boy! We rolled a tie!